Okay, so we're gonna be using Shining Jam just to make sure that these edges are properly laid, all right? Because the last thing you want to do is have flyaway with your stocking cap, because that is definitely gonna break off your edges. And like you can see in this video, I don't have much edges to begin with, so your girl has to protect her edges, okay? All right, so next we're gonna go in with the blow dryer just to make sure that it's nice and dry. Make sure it's nice and dry before you put on that stocking cap. After you put on the stocking cap, we're just going to go ahead and cut out the ear tabs, and this is just going to ensure that the stocking cap is laying pretty flat against your ear or around your ear, so that when we put the adhesive spray or the lace glue, you're going to have that very laid look and your tabs won't be lifting up. We're going to go in by using the Ibn Wonder Lace Bond adhesive spray, and guys, this thing is magic gold. It gives you a fast drying time, and it also have like a very firm hold, so if you don't have like the actual lace glue, you can use this. You don't even have to use a lace glue, to be honest with you. I'm spraying the Ibn spray a little bit below my hairline, then I'm just going to use the blow dryer to make sure that everything is nice and dry before I start cutting the excess stocking cap. So we're going to start by cutting around the ear tabs, that excess stocking cap, and we are just going to be doing this in sections because I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to do this in sections. So we're just going to make a slit straight down the middle, and as we make the slit, we're just going to be peeling back the stocking cap just to where my edges or my hairline is. And I'm making sure that it's not too much on my forehead. So like you see, I'm trying to make sure that it's lined up with my hairline, you know, because I don't want the wig to be too much on my forehead. So guys, you could also use one of those eyebrow razors if you don't have like a scissors. And this one that I had was like, not, as you can see, it's not really a big scissors, so this was kind of easy for me to use. So there you go, peeling back as much as I can. Next, I'm gonna go in by using a thin layer of the adhesive glue, and I'm just gonna build up the layers because I think I'm gonna be wearing this wig for about a week. So I'm gonna be using about 2 to 3 layers so that this wig will stay on. So if you notice, I'm putting the glue right on the edge of the stocking cap, and this is just going to ensure that it doesn't lift up at all. So we're going to go and spread this by using a rat tail comb, and if you don't have a rat tail comb, you could also use like a like a popsicle stick or anything that you can find. And here I'm just making sure that it's evenly spread out and that is, you know, nice and thin, because the thinner it is, the quicker it is to dry. Next, we're going to go in and blow dry and make sure that it is nice and clear before you move on to the next layer of glue. Here, if you notice, I'm using a lot more glue this time, and this is just going to make sure I have like a wider base for the wig to lay on, so you're going to have like a more secure install. And I'm just repeating the same process. I'm using the rat tail comb to make sure that I spread it out as evenly as I can. And here I'm also making sure to go a little bit below the stocking cap, just on my forehead, just to make a wider base for the wig. Make sure before you move on to the next level, it is nice and clear. And here I'm going in with my foundation powder. Just make sure that it's the same complexion as your skin. So I'm just going to go in with some alcohol and just wipe up, you know, just wipe any excess glue that might be on my forehead. So here is the construction of the wig. It has 3 combs, 2 on the side and 1 in the back, and it also has an elastic band, but I'm not going to be using that at all. So here I'm lining up the wig, and I'm just making sure that the lace is just right on top of where the glue is, exactly on top of where the glue is. To be honest, I didn't need to do so much because I didn't realize that this was a 4x4 wig. So, you know, gluing down all the stocking cap wasn't necessary. But yeah, it is what it is. So I'm just making sure that I'm lining up the side of the wig onto the glue on both sides, and I'm just gonna go in with my comb and make sure to kind of like push, you know, push the wig into the glue for more secured installation. So here I'm just making sure that the lace is pressed into the glue, and I'm going back and forth with my rat tail comb just to make sure it's nice and secure. So moving the ear out of the way, I'm just going to make sure that I clean up any excess glue that might be on my skin, especially on the side here. As you can see, the stocking cap was lifting up a little bit, so what I'm gonna do is just go in with my scissors, and any excess parts that are lifting up, I'm just gonna go ahead and snip that off. Told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave. Had to find a way to change. Had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream. I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I so I'm gonna go in back with my ebony spray, and I'm just gonna be spraying it on the lace part of the wig, just for a more melted look. So I'm just gonna go in with the comb, the tip of the comb, and I'm just gonna press in the wig. So it's time for the melting process. I'm just gonna go in with my melted headband, and I'm gonna be using 2 of these just to make sure that I have a very snug fit around my head. So by the time I take this off, you know, it's gonna be like my scalp. So I'm just gonna leave this on for about 15 to 20 minutes. Next, we're gonna go in with our wax stick, and this I'm putting around the perimeter of the hair and also around the parting. Next, I'm gonna go in with a hot comb, and this is on the highest settings. I think it's about 410. So I'm just making sure that I really press in the air. I'm trying to straighten it as much as I can because I don't want it to look too bulky at the top, being that this is a curly wig. Make sure to spend as much time as you need to get this looking nice and flat and smooth. So use it on the highest settings and go through the hair several times if you have to. Okay, so it's time to take off the headband, and this is what it's looking like right now. As you can see, the lace is melted. So I'm just gonna go with a comb and, you know, kind of tidy up the flyaway hairs. So I'm going in with my water bottle, and I'm going to define the curl. So this is just plain water with some essential oil, and I'm just going to be damping the hair, making sure it's not really saturated but at the same time wet enough. Then I'm going to go in with the comb to make sure I don't have any knots or tangles, and we're just going to define the shit out of this hair. Alright, to make it even more defined, I'm going in with some hair mousse, and it doesn't have to be the one I'm using. Any hair mousse will do. Just go ahead and make sure that you put it all over the curls, all over the hair, and just rake your hands through it if you have to. If you have like a paddle brush, you could use that as well. If you have a comb, go ahead and use that, and this is going to define the curls. So it's time to work on these baby hair, and I'm using my Shining Jam. And guys, this was the hardest process of the wig installation, making these baby hair. But luckily the wig came pre-cut. It was pre-bleached, and it also came with the baby hair already cut. So that made the process a lot easier for me. So like you see guys, I was using a toothbrush. So I would recommend you get one of those brushes that you use for the edges, because while it's possible for you to use a toothbrush and get the job done, I think it makes it a lot more difficult. So get you one of those edge brushes. Next, I'm gonna go in with my liquid foundation just to define the part a little bit more. And this is a little bit lighter than my current shade right now. So I'm just gonna go along the parting and just gonna make it a little bit more realistic. Okay, so one last process, we're going back in with the headbands and we're just gonna be setting these baby hair. So I'm gonna be leaving this on for about I would say 15 minutes, and I didn't show this on camera, but I'm gonna also blow dry just to make the process a little bit easier, a little bit faster to dry. So yeah, I'm going in with my headband to make sure everything is nice and set and everything is laying perfectly. So there you go, guys, this is the final look and I'm so in love with this ear color. I know it's not really showing up that great on camera, but it's kind of like this wine red color, and the curls are very defined. As you can see, the curls are soft. I think this turned out pretty good. I mean, for somebody who's not a professional at doing baby hair, I think these kind of turned out pretty nice. So thank you guys for watching.